Hey everyone, it's Amy here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to share with you guys my review and swatches of a new product that is going to be on the market very soon, and that is this palette from Tarte. And this is a collaboration. So this is the Tarte Styled by Hrush palette, and I was super excited to get my hands on this. This became available about a week and a half ago, early access to Ulta Platinum members to purchase online, and so I received mine last Wednesday and was super excited and just really inspired when I saw this palette. So I went ahead and did a makeup tutorial for you guys last week, maybe around Thursday if you haven't seen it. I was just really excited to use this palette, so I went ahead and did a makeup tutorial using it, and now I've had it for about 5 or 6 days, and I'm going to give you guys my review and swatches on this palette. But just so you guys know right off the bat, it is made in the USA because I've already gotten a question on it on Instagram, because I know, like you guys, I'm sometimes concerned when Tarte comes out with like little mini palettes like this, or like their holiday palettes tend to be made in China instead of the USA, and then I don't find that their quality is as amazing as their typical products that they produce in the United States. So I was really happy that this one was made in the USA, which is probably why I really enjoy it. So it is going to be available very soon for you guys to purchase at Ulta. So let me go ahead and read you guys some information, then I will show you the palette and we will get to swatching. So the palette is going to retail for $30 and it will be available online on August 21st and then in stores on September 4th. So it says self-taught stunner Hrush Achman, hopefully that's how you say the name, has inspired over 1 million Instagram followers to create confidence and celebrity versions of themselves through her artistic and star-studded account Styled by Hrush. Now this web celeb and master makeup educator is teaming up with Tarte to inspire fans to embrace the power of makeup with exclusive full face palette. Includes 6 universal pigment packed shadows and a mix of versatile mattes and high pigment lusters, co-curated with master of the smoldering smoky eye. This rich blendable eyeshadows are joined by a full-size matte coral contouring blush to add warm, long-wearing dimension for a sleek, slim effect. With 4 custom looks from Hrush, which it does come with like one of those little pamphlets with like suggested eye looks you can create with the palette. This chic collector's palette has everything you need to highlight your best features and embrace your inner superstar with one and only Styled by Hrush. Now I have to admit, I didn't actually know who this girl was. I guess she's just a big celebrity makeup artist and has a huge following on Instagram and does celebrity makeup and stuff like that. Honestly, I got the palette because it looked gorgeous and I was like, this looks so cute. I love the colors inside. I had to have it. So on the outside, it does say Styled by Hrush in gold, and then this is kind of like a faux leather, crocodile, or snakeskin packaging. And on the back, it is standard Tarte with the beautiful gold. And then on the inside, it has a really nice size mirror. And then here is what the palette looks like on the inside. This is the beautiful matte coral blush, which I do have on my cheeks right now. I think it's really pretty. And then you have 6 shades up here. The top ones are those like really pigmented lusters like it's talking about, and the bottom ones are the matte. So I was super excited just because it had champagnes and browns, and it had a purple in here, and I was like, a cranberry purple, and I was like, I have to have you because you guys know I love my purple. So this palette just looked really stunning, sleek, and gorgeous, and I also thought it would be a really great travel-friendly palette. That's why I got it, because I love the fact that I had eyeshadows and a blush in here, and it was really lightweight. It's the same size as like the holiday blush, like not a holiday, but the like Tarte Rainforest of the Sea one that came out, the highlighter and stuff like that. It's the same exact size, and like this one is super duper lightweight. So I was super excited about this palette. So let me go ahead and start swatching, because I have to say, I'm really impressed with these eyeshadows. I think they're the same amazing quality as all the other Tarte eyeshadow palettes I really adore, like the Tartelette Tease palette and the Tartelette in Bloom. I think they're on the same great quality. As you guys saw in the makeup tutorial, I think they are ultra pigmented, really easy to work with, really easy to blend, and they were just really fantastic. The only one that I think had a small amount of fallout and could be kind of a little chunkier than the other 2 luster shadows is the shade Bliss. It just has like a little bit of like less finely milled glitter or micro glitter in there, and so when you got really close in that tutorial, you could see there was a little bit of fallout, but it was very minimal and not a big deal. So I don't think like that was anything that would give a negative like review over that shadow. I still thought it was really creamy and really easy to work with. I would just suggest, if you're going to use that all over the eyelid, to do your eyes first before going in with your foundation and face makeup, because you may get a little bit of like sparkles on there that may be harder to get off, versus if you have no makeup, you can go in there with a makeup wipe and have no problems. I really like the palette. The only thing I have to say is I do find that the blush, when you first play with it, feels like maybe it's not the same exact amazing quality as all the other Tarte blushes, but it's super duper ultra pigmented. But I find that it's got a little bit more of a powdery feel when you swatch it, but when you actually apply it with a brush, it applies exactly the same, and I had no problem. It was beautiful, tons of pigment, really really easy to blend, no problems with goat hair brushes or synthetic brushes at all. So let me go ahead and swatch it for you. You see what I mean? How, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's got like a little bit of powder and like fallout with the blush. I keep wanting to say brush. With the blush, whereas I find with all my other palettes with Tarte blushes in it that they're just very, very smooth and not a lot of kick up, that they're almost so pressed into the pan that you don't get any kind of fallout or kick up. Whereas this one, it doesn't seem quite as like pressed into the pan, which is why there's a little bit more kick up. But it's a beautiful shade. It's kind of like a tangerine corally color. I really, really like it. Like I said, I have it on my face. I think it's going to suit a lot of skin tones because it is ultra, ultra pigmented, that I think it's going to work for a lot of people. It's not like it's so light that it's not going to show up on people with those medium and darker skin tones. I do think it's really, really pretty. Let me go ahead and wipe that off. And then let's get to swatching some of the eyeshadows because they are so pretty. So let's see. I'll show you guys swatches and then there will be close-ups as well. So here's a little close-up of what they look like. This shade right here is called Bliss. That's the one that I said is like ever so slightly chunkier than these other two. This one is the shade Smitten, and this is the shade, the reason why I bought this palette, and it's called Royal. Like you guys can see from there, look how gorgeous these colors are. I love them. Our Bliss is on, let's see, Bliss is this one. It's definitely more golden. Then you have Smitten, which is a little bit more champagne, and then you have Royal, which is kind of that cranberry purple shade, and I love them. I think they are so pretty, really, really creamy, really pigmented, so smooth. They literally just like glide on butter, and they are just really fantastic. Definitely really amazing quality, just like the Tarte Lit and Bloom palette as far as the lusters. And then I was so pleasantly surprised how pigmented, how creamy, and so blendable these matte shades are. I mean, look how pigmented that is. I love it. Let me wipe off that purple. So then these next shades, let's see, they are so soft and smooth. I really, really like these matte shades. So here we have Pinch, which is kind of a light brown with like a coral undertone. Then we have Kitty, which is a nice, really rich chocolate brown. And then we have Vamp, which is kind of like a grayish brown with a little bit of a purple undertone. And these are so smooth. Like there's hardly any kick up in it. Definitely not when you apply it with your brush. There's a little bit of kick up just from, you know, naturally picking up more product with your finger, but they are so nicely pigmented. I love how rich these colors are and how just opaque they are. They're beautiful colors. So this one was Pinch. Then we had Kitty, and then we had Vamp. They are just beautiful crease and transition shades. I love that this one has a little bit of a coral undertone to go with that blush. And so these are just really, really fantastic. Again, you guys would have seen some close-ups as well. That way you get a closer look and the true pigmentation as well. But this palette, fantastic. I'm really pleased with the quality. Like I said, Bliss is just ever so slightly chunkier compared to the other two luster shades. I think they're really great. I do really like the blush. I keep wanting to say brush. I do really like the blush. However, I do think right off the bat when you swatch it, it feels slightly more powdery than the typical Tarte blushes, but I do think once you apply it with a brush that it applies exactly the same and really, really fantastic. So overall, I'm really impressed with this palette. Now, I did get a couple questions on Instagram already asking, like, or maybe it was on my makeup tutorial because they knew the review was coming, but people had already asked, is this palette absolutely necessary? Are there dupes out there? And I always want to give a review first because I find that it's not fair to be like, this palette sucks because there's so many dupes, or this one's so boring because like it's like every other palette out there, because that's not fair to me. It's like, is the quality of this product good? And if it is, would I recommend it? And then it like people can make an informed decision whether or not they should buy the palette based on their collection. So right off the bat, excellent palette, definitely would recommend it, think it's great. Now, as far as people asking, do I think there's other things that are similar? Yes, I do. I think if you have the Violet Voss Holy Grail palette, or like the Morphe 350 or anything like that, you may already have some shadows that are similar, because I think a lot of palettes like the two that I mentioned kind of already have this champagne color and the gold color, and I feel like the Holy Grail has some like cranberry purple shades in there like that. I mean, I think Pinch is actually pretty unique. I don't remember having anything in my collection that's quite like Pinch with like a corally brown. I mean, I probably have something similar to Kitty. Vamp, I feel like, has something similar to the what is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. Same with Royal. It's kind of similar to those shades. I don't think anything's exact dupes, but I do think there are similarities. I do have all those palettes in my collection as a makeup collector, and having tried this palette, I still think it's worth it. I absolutely love it from the fact that it's really, really travel friendly, and I have like eyeshadows and blush all in one. But I do think that if you have any of those palettes I mentioned, there are a little bit of similarities, but not exact dupes. So do keep that in mind, and hopefully that helps you guys out in case you guys are trying to make a decision and you're like, oh, I already have those palettes. Do I really need this one? I think it's really sleek. I think it's really travel friendly, and then you just kind of have to make the decision on your own based on your own collection. But I do think it's a fantastic palette and would definitely recommend it to you guys when it releases in the next week or so. I would definitely pick it up if you're interested because it's a fantastic palette. It's adorable and it's really, really great. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review and swatches of the new Tarte Styled by Hrush palette and found it helpful. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you can stay tuned to all my upcoming videos, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!